Hello, HEX community. It's Matt here from Crypto Coffee. How's everybody doing? Today I'm going to be making a normal video, not a live stream today because I've still got clearly a lot of shit to figure out with that. But today's video is going to be about me proving my support to HEX and the amazing community behind it by staking and joining the 5555 Club live on camera. So if you don't know what the 5555 Club is, it's basically a group of us Hexicans that have banded together and committed to stake the maximum length, however much hex they want to, but staking the maximum length of time, which is 5,555 days. So I think what that roughly translates to, if not exactly, is about 15 Earth years. So I'm going to be joining the 5555 Club. I wish there was an easier way to say that. Maybe like the Quad 5 Club, 15-year club, whatever. But first, I'll just do a little bit of my normal rantings and ravings about how I'm feeling about HEX today. And I guess the sun is shining on my face a little bit more than usual. I'm doing this a little earlier in the day. I'm kind of looking like a pale ghost right now in the camera, but that's all right, because this is all about just information and content. I'll be coming up with all the good live stream stuff in the future. Oh, and we're also going to be giving away the 10,000 HEX to one lucky winner. So stick around till maybe the end, maybe the middle of the video, where we'll give away that HEX to anybody that watched and commented on my live stream, which I did, I think, 2 days ago. So stay tuned for that. So first and foremost, we've got HEX at all-time highs. It took a little bit of a drop today, but that's to be expected. It would just be nonsensical for something to go up in a straight line without any pullback at all. So I believe there was some selling. I think we even saw on HEX.live that somebody emergency unstaked, and unfortunately, if they had to for financial reasons, I feel very bad for them because they unstaked, I think, 10-year stakes super early and lost over 90% of those stakes. So we're over at HEX.live right now, and I scroll down in the news feed. This is a great feature. Everything about this website is incredible. So if you haven't heard of HEX.live yet, just go to it. It plugs into your Ethereum wallet, and it'll give you a fun ranking system. So it kind of like gamifies the whole experience, which is super critical for engagement, adoption, onboarding, all that stuff. But they've even got a live activity feed of basically it's like a whale watcher. It'll tell you when people staked, emergency unstaked. It'll tell you when Hexologist live streams every day. And look at all this stuff going on here. So we've got somebody that was he was a dabbing dolphin. And that means pretty high up in the rankings, which we can show that in a minute. But this dabbing dolphin, guys, he unstaked, emergency unstaked, 2.4 million, 2.3 million, 2.3 million, 2.3 blah blah blah. He emergency unstaked 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, maybe about 17, 18 million HEX, roughly. Kind of a lot. Look at how much he's paying in penalties. So the equivalent value of $1,172 was staked. He had to pay $1,057 in penalties. So he made off with just over $100 on each of these. So not ideal, guys, not ideal. And why would anybody want to do this right now? Well, if I had to speculate, I would say it's unfortunately due to the COVID-19 circumstances, and this unfortunate person may have had to emergency unstake in order to pay bills, pay rent, maybe his wife wouldn't leave him. Who knows? But, sad for him, but great for us because we literally get all of those emergency penalties evenly distributed to every single staker. So that's kind of the beauty of HEX, and this kind of thing is it's a hot event because it's good for you, although maybe at the expense of this poor individual. So prayers out to him. I hope he's doing okay, whoever that is. It's not ideal, but times are tough. So if you need money now, I guess you might have to emergency on stake, but the penalties are astronomical, so not recommended by me, definitely. What else do I love about HEX.live? Well, clearly, it's the the league distributions. So, I mean, come on, guys, this is genius. You can be a silent shell if you own like almost no HEX, or you can grow up a little bit and be a shy shrimp. If you make it past shy shrimp, you'll become a cool crab. After that, you become an oily octopus, upon which you morph into a swift squid. If you own more than, let's see the distribution breakdown. If you own more than 0.01% of the total shares, you're officially a dabbing dolphin. So congrats, bro. After that, we got super sharks, winning whales, and prosperous Poseidons. So it's funny that we don't have any prosperous Poseidons, and I kind of like that because it goes to show that there isn't one single address that holds more than 10% of the total shares. So, you know, that can be, it's just one less point for haters to use against HEX, basically. Whereas I know a lot of other coins that have addresses with over 10% of total shares in a single address. So, do we want a prosperous Poseidon? Probably not. Could there be collectively a group of people or even a person that has distributed their HEX in a way where maybe it's a bunch of whales combined but secretly owned by one individual or a few? Yeah, sure, maybe. But to be honest, I don't really care. And I mean, the FUD is kind of non-existent at this point. I mean, when prices are up, there's no FUD, right? So people ask about recycling a lot too. So my thoughts on that. Basically, let's say an individual. So first, let's establish a few facts, right? So the adoption amplifier is not a market. In a real market, you can buy and sell. And in the adoption amplifier, you can only buy. You can't sell on the adoption amplifier. So just based off the first principle of a market needs to have both buyers and sellers, well, you can't call the adoption amplifier a market. I'm sorry. It's just by that definition, automatically, the AA is not a real market. If anybody tries to say that the AA sets the price every day, well, that's clearly false, because as we can see on hex.live, the Uniswap price is 38% cheaper. And this is another beautiful thing about hex.live. It is actively doing the work of steering people away from the adoption amplifier and towards Uniswap, which is a real market where you can buy and sell with liquidity. Another reason the adoption amplifier could never be a market is because, well, it only sets the price once per day, right? Because you have a set fixed amount of Ethereum in the bucket every day, and a variable amount of, you have a fixed amount of HEX and a variable amount of Ethereum, and really it's unpredictable until the very end of the adoption amplifier, meaning the price only gets set once per day, and you don't really have true price discovery, because to have price discovery and to be a real market, you need consistent price data over time. So if you wanted to call the adoption amplifier a market, which it's not because you can't sell, you can only buy, well, it's kind of like having a market, and I've said this before, it's like having a market that prints out a price ticker readout once per day. So how reliable can that be, right? You want people trading 24/7 and 365. So the whole narrative that adoption amplifier sets the price is pure garbage, just poor logic, poor thought. And I'm glad I haven't heard about that in a while. I don't really even know why I brought it up, but it just crossed into my mind again. I think the reason that it crossed into my mind was due to the exceedingly high numbers of ETH going into the adoption amplifier every day. And this is more Ethereum than we've ever seen before, and I can tell you why this is a good thing, actually. So imagine you're a new HEX newcomer trying to buy HEX for the first time. You go over to the adoption amplifier and you see, whoa, there's been 2,000 ETH in the adoption amplifier for the last 10 days. The number of HEX available is not really going anywhere. So, what am I going to do? Am I going to be a small drop in a bucket with my one Ethereum? Am I really going to want one 2,500th of all the available HEX? Or do I want to go to Uniswap, which right now is, 38% cheaper? So, the crazy high amount of ETH from whatever whale or group of whales is adding this ETH, you know, that shall never be known, or nor should you really care. But whoever and whatever group is adding all this Ethereum into the adoption amplifiers, steering people out of it and towards a more efficient market. So it's actually steering people to kind of create better price discovery by using a platform that's not the adoption amplifier. Essentially flooding people out of the adoption amplifier early to get a head start on creating a real market. So you should be happy that we don't have to wait 365 days to have real price discovery, because we're already on a shit ton of exchanges. I mean, we just got listed on a couple of Chinese ones too, like ZG.com and these certain exchanges with real volume. So I think X Chain is a different one. And it's been like 2 or 3 over the past week. And one is going to be released on April 1st too. And with all this Chinese volume coming in, you can start to feel the underpinnings of the hype and the FOMO train gearing up for full blast. So it's really exciting stuff, guys. We're only 104, we're like a third of the way done with the adoption amplifier. And we've already got so much good stuff going for HEX that there's really no need to use the adoption amplifier anymore. Now, you can if you want to, but you can also go trade it on a real exchange and, you know, hopefully just buy it and stake it, but trade it on a real exchange if you want to sell it, for example. And if you want to go short, hopefully that'll be available soon. But this is all great for HEX, and that's pretty much why. Again, crowding people out of the AA because Uniswap and other exchanges are a better deal, and you should be happy about that because it gives legitimacy to the project in general. Alright, now for the YouTube picker. We're going to pick the $10,000 giveaway. So I got this website up. It's commentpicker.com/youtube.php. You go ahead and enter your YouTube URL in there, and it'll pick a randomized comment for you. So we just press this big button down here, and we'll pick the winner. The winner is Adam. Can you market videos on how to buy HEX? I think that might be worth experimenting so that people will be interested. Yeah, Adam, good comment, but you know what, buddy? You're getting 10,000 HEX, so congratulations. You know, I kind of hope that you're not a whale already, otherwise this is nothing to you, but yeah, we'll be sending you that after the video, so stay tuned. Congrats, Adam, you just won 10,000 HEX, and, you know, one day, who knows, it could change your life. Tuning in really quick to the ad report over here. We've got a big spike in ads lately, and that's because I just added a whole bunch of channels to display video ads on. Turns out, our top guys right now are Peter Schiff. Thank you, Peter, for hating on Bitcoin and everything crypto. He's got almost a 2% view rate and the most views out of any of these channels that I've added. And he's only been on this campaign for like 2 or 3 days. So I gotta figure out like who's watching Peter Schiff and what else are they watching, because I want to get those channels too. The Atlantis Report is a close second. The Atlantis Report is basically like a rip-off of a bunch of Peter Schiff videos where they just do closed captioning over him and other people, and it's a lot of like doom and gloom type stuff too. So we've got a lot of views coming and a lot of plays, impressions coming from the Atlantis Report. Then our good buddy Ivan on Tech, followed by Crypto Zombie, the Crypto Lark, and Data Dash. So this is all good signs, and I'm definitely going to be looking into, you know, what kind of people like Peter Schiff, what kind of people like the Atlantis Report. And I'm going to be tracking all of them too. So stay tuned for more of that. Just a quick update on the ad campaign. Alright, y'all. So time for the moment we've all been waiting for, where I will be going live and documenting myself joining the 5555 Club. So here we are on go.hex.win. We're going to go ahead and put up 100,000 HEX just because. And who knows, maybe this will be the best financial decision I've ever made in my life. Or maybe nothing will ever happen, and it'll just be another one bites the dust, essentially. So we'll go 5555, and we will stake it. Gonna go ahead and confirm this. Always use a hardware wallet, folks. Go confirm that, and there we go. After this loads, I will officially be in the 5555 Club, the Quad 5 Club. the boys club for future billionaires. So I'll see y'all in Miami when we. That's actually a requirement, by the way. You have to have a 5,555 day stake. I realized I didn't have one yet, so I basically FOMO'd in because I want to party with a bunch of bros in Miami. So we will see how that works out for me and for everyone else. But that's your ticket, guys. All you got to do to join the Miami party is basically stake some HEX for as long as you possibly can to prove your dedication, to prove that you are a true Hexican. Alright, there we go. Finally finished loading and got confirmed on the blockchain. So staked 100,000 bad boys, and I'll show you down here in the active stakes just to make sure. And there we go, guys. YOLO. We got day 115. Started a stake that's ending on day 5,670 for 100,000 HEX. I have 29 trillion shares. And the big payday bonus so far is going to be 648,000. So hey, maybe I just set myself up for life there. That's fun. And I'd like to leave off on a reading from the scripture of our Lord and Savior Richard Hart, from his very own book, Sci-Vive. So he says this is in the power section, but I mean it's particularly relevant right now, at least to me. So I figure maybe all of you guys can benefit from this. It says, give yourself the gift of focusing on what you want, not what you don't want. Give your brain the gift of knowing what you want, so that you get more of it. When you fill your life with what you want, you'll find that you don't have space for shit that sucks, because it just doesn't fit. It's really simple, and lots of people have solved it. You just want to think it's complicated and hard, so you don't feel like a bigger asshole. So you don't feel more regret. It's like writing a book. Is writing a book hard? No. Clearly Richard just kind of did it. It's like writing an email to a friend. Well then, how come more people don't do it? I don't know. Somehow, it just feels like fucking homework. We need a little bit of reward for something that takes hundreds of hours. Maybe someone should solve the reward problem. So, this is really just about getting clear on what you want and what you don't want. If you want mad gains, you're going to have to join HEX and just buy a shit ton and stake it. And anything that you don't want in your life, just don't focus your energy on it. I mean, that's probably the best thing you can do for yourself, is just focus on the things that you want. But, you know, that's kind of the hard part right there, is giving your brain the gift of knowing what you do want. So, you know, my personal opinion, that's been the hardest for me, is getting really clear. So, put your phone down for a little bit every day. You know, stay healthy, exercise, and meditate, and eat healthy. And you'll find that ideas just kind of start coming to you. And I think that, you know, the more you do this on a regular basis, the more you make it a habit, the more clear it'll be what you do want and what you don't want. So don't waste time thinking about any, you know, haters or what the obscure crypto news article said 2 weeks ago about HEX. Focus on the bigger picture and focus on getting what you want. And I hope all you guys get what you want. And as always, stay calm and keep hexing. Talk to you on the next one.